welcome to my channel. To start with, I just wanted to thank you for deciding to pass by or deciding to see what this content or what this video channel is about. It is a totally new thing that I've decided to do on my spare time whilst fighting with mental health a little. I do sometimes get so overwhelmed with my emotions and my worries that I struggle to find something that calms me down and keeps me busy. So I sat down, I decided to make a list, which it's always advised to do, worry list or things to distract you. And I asked myself, I wrote down, what is the one thing that makes you happy, keeps you busy, and keeps you at peace, so gives you peace. And the answer was cooking. So I do love cooking, baking, decorating, anything to do with cooking. As you can probably see from my accent, I'm Italian, come from South Italy. My grandparents were both Italian and South American, so there was a lot of variety of dishes, from paellas to lasagnas and all sorts of things. Lots of memories, lots of wonderful recipes, and I've decided to start sharing them. I have always been told to, I've always been praised when I cook for my friends and family, and always been told to start my own baking business, if you say, but I'm just too scared. There's a lot of risk. What if people don't like it? What if it's too sweet? What if it's not sweet enough? What if it's not up to standards? I will share some of my creations as well, some of the cakes I've made. It just really helps me keep myself busy. I love doing it, and it's extremely good to get something that distracts you from all of your worries for whatever is going on. So what I've decided to do then, I decided to create this channel for anyone who, like me, is going through a bit of a struggle at the moment, who is overwhelmed, who gets to the end of the day, doesn't know what to cook, because let's be honest, we do have to cook, especially if you have kids. I love the quick chicken nuggets and chips, air fried obviously. We go for the healthy solutions, but the moment you get distracted, that's where they go and get liters and liters of ketchup to go on it. We cannot always help it, but we try what we can. So the main aim of this channel is to help you cooking. If, like me, it's not that you can't be bothered, but sometimes we really don't have time. I've got 2 children, I'd say 3 with my mom. No, I'm joking. She's a big eater, but she's very tiny. She's one of those that eats for England or sleeps for England, or does something else, so it's a lot. And doesn't gain any weight, but she needs to eat, and she loves her pasta, so I like to experiment with pastas. Experiments or improvise, if we shall say. Okay, so what I'm going to start with as the main dish that I'm going to share with you all. I have been thinking about it for a couple of days, and then I called my dad, who gave me this recipe, and is pasta with meatballs, polpette, as we call them back home. It is I think it's his recipe. He used to work in an Italian restaurant for a few years, for a couple of years, and everyone was going crazy about those meatballs. So I've asked him and he told me what to do. It's few steps, few ingredients. You can of course use what you have in the house. If you don't have this, then you're gonna have to buy it. But I went to Aldi. Most of the things we already had in the house. The main thing that you need is going to be minced beef, either Parmesan or Pecorino. Parmesan, it's easier to find and it's cheaper, I think. So, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to show you quickly. I'm going to show you soon what we need to do and the steps to do it. I really hope you get to enjoy this channel. If you do, please give us a thumb up. That's what we do. I think I've never done it before, so maybe subscribe if you wish to, and I'll try to keep the channel lively and add many recipes and contents as you like. Also, if you do have any requests, especially for Italian dishes, I'm really happy to do it for you and show you step to step what to do. Not Italian, any other dish. I'm pretty good at following steps with everything else as well. So yeah, okie dokie, spoken too much already. I'm gonna show you soon what I'll do. Bye. Okay, so I've put down all the ingredients that you need, and I'll tell you one by one what it is, what, and the quantity. I'm pretty bad with quantities, unfortunately. I just go, we say, by eye. I just put anything anyhow, but I'll try my best and I'll tell you the quantities. So to start with, the first thing that you need to do is to make a plain tomato sauce. I don't know if I should. I don't know how to work out with brands and stuff. So we usually get Italian passata. No, Italian passata, polpa. It's like chopped tomato, but it's really creamy and it suits well if you want to make pasta. So what you need to do to make the tomato sauce to start with, you get a couple of cloves of garlic. You can use garlic and onion as well, chopped onion, so you have to chop it. But I usually only use garlic depending on the type of pasta that you're making. You're gonna need salt, a little bit of salt. You could use garlic granules instead of fresh garlic, although fresh garlic tastes nice, yeah? Extra virgin olive oil, and then the chopped tomatoes. Yeah, so that's what we need for the tomato sauce, the salsa, so where we're gonna put our meatballs in. Then for the actual meatballs, we're going to need bread. So we like this type of bread, no sliced bread. We remove I'm gonna show you later, but we're gonna remove the crust and we're just gonna use the crumbs. We're going to use 2 eggs, can be any size, doesn't matter. Parsley, Parmesan cheese, or as I said, pecorino, that needs to be grated. And then you're gonna need lean beef or any type of beef of your choice, and a little bit of milk. And then of course salt and pepper as you like. We don't usually, we try not to use a lot of salt because it's not good to start with. But I like my food to taste nice, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how to make the tomato sauce, and then we'll make the meatball. So we've also got some baking paper, baking sheets, because once we make the meatballs, we have to either cook them in the air fryer on baking for 10-15 minutes, or in the actual oven. And then we've got some gloves for when we have to mix everything together. We are going to use my dad's recipe, which involves a blender. If you don't have a blender, I'm pretty sure it can be done manually. You just have to use a whisk or a fork to whisk everything together. Okay, here we are. So make sure to use a deep pan or wok, something like that, basically, because so that you can fit a lot of meatballs once you cook it. So we're gonna start with the sauce now. Okay, so go put your pan on a medium heat, and we start with our extra virgin olive oil. This bottle is from Italy. There we go. Put a good amount of olive oil, and then we've got 3 garlic cloves. Sorry. What we do, we squeeze them down. Yeah, so you press them as to open them, just like that, so that if you cannot do it, sorry, you see, that's a mess. If you cannot do it with your hands, use a knife. Okay, and then we put them in the oil like this, just like that, and we wait for it to fry a little bit, not too much, because if the garlic fries, is going to be burned and the flavor of the sauce will change. It's just one of those things. So we can put the lid on and wait for a few seconds for it to start frying. There we go. Okay, so the garlic is frying, and I'm just going to open it and move it around with my wooden spoon so that it goes everywhere. Now we're gonna wait for a minute or so, lower the heat, and we're going to put our tomato sauce inside, our chopped tomatoes, which are already ready. They just need to go in. Okay, so you see this small one, this is burning already, so we have to wait for this one to cook a bit more. Okay, all right, so I'm just gonna put the tomato sauce now, the chopped tomato sauce. Make sure that your heat is low, because if you go at high heat, it's gonna splash everywhere, you're gonna burn yourself, and it's not gonna be a good experience. There we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put some water in this to, okay, I can show you. Sorry, silly me. Okay, so we're going to put some water in this one, so that we take whatever sauce is left, and we come here and we pass it to, make sure you do that so that you can get the one at the top as well, and we pass it to the next one. So this way, in this way, you're cleaning it, and it's good for your recycling, plus you're getting whatever sauce is left. Okay, there we go. One thing I wanted to make you aware of, as I said, I've got 2 children, so if you hear any banging or screaming or any weird noises, it's them. Obviously they love each other, but we all know. Okay, so now this is ready. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put some salt. So I'm just gonna put, I'd say maybe a teaspoon or 2 all over, and to get the, I'd say, acidity of the tomato sauce out, what I like to do is to use a little bit, like a pinch of sugar, normal sugar. There we go, just a pinch. So that's gonna help with the tomato sauce not being too acid. Okay, so give it a good mix. Okay, there we go. Now you can add basil if you want. If you have any basil, that's gonna help with the flavor. So you can put a couple of leaves of basil at this point, and leave it so that it gives a little bit more flavor. But this one is good as it is. So we're gonna make the meatballs now. I'm gonna show you how to do the meatballs. Okie dokie. Just to show you, I'm cutting the bread and I am removing the crusts. So we only basically need the crumbs, but the soft part of the bread, this one. And once it's cut, I'm putting it here. And as we don't waste anything, I'm saving this here so that we can make maybe crostini, croutons for another day, for a salad or something like that. Okay. Okay, so I've prepared everything. What we're going to do now is to blend these ingredients. Sorry, I'm just fixing the blender. Okay, so we need about 50, let's say 50 grams of parsley. So a good amount. Make sure is washed and rinsed thoroughly. I cannot stress enough when it's about vegetables to wash them and make sure that everything is washed and clean thoroughly. Then we've got fresh garlic cloves, black pepper, sorry, is for the next one. So fresh garlic cloves, we're gonna use a little bit of granules as well, about 30-40 grams of grated Parmesan, 2 eggs, normal size, and we're gonna need some milk. So I am now going to show you what we're going to do with all of this. So we're going to start with adding the parsley. So we're going to put the parsley in the blender. Make sure you get everything that is left over. And we're going to add our cheese. Sorry. I always think I'm recording it and then and then we've got our garlic cloves, which I've not cut, but maybe, okay, sorry, I'm just gonna give it a little chop. 1 second. There we go. Chopped garlic cloves. We're gonna put them in, and then gonna put garlic powder, just a little bit, not too much. Okay, and I'm gonna crack the eggs and the milk, and I'm gonna add it as well. I'm gonna show you in a second. Okay, here we go. So 2 eggs in, and then we're gonna put the milk. I'd say maybe a glass, half of a glass should be fine. Yeah, you use cups. I don't know how to maybe. Right, you know what, I'm just gonna measure later on and I'm gonna put it in the links or the description. It is about maybe 200 milliliters. Looks like it, yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna blend everything. And in the meantime, you turn your oven on. I've turned it on to the max, but it can be 180 degrees. And you need to make sure that you've got both sides there, so that it won't both upper and lower. Okay, there we go, that's all done. Okay, and now we're gonna pour that onto the bread. I'm gonna put my gloves on. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in. I think I've made too much. It looks way too much. It doesn't need to be too the bread consistency, it doesn't need to be too liquid, you see. So you have to dip the bread in this, but make sure that is not too much. So add a little bit, do this, and then you leave it for some time. It doesn't have to be hours. You can leave it for maybe 10-15 minutes. And this is already feels good enough to me, but I think I might just add just a tiny bit more, just a little bit more. Okay, Okay, so then we mash. So leave it like this, as if it's a marinade basically. So you're leaving the bread to marinate. Okay, and then we cover it and we're gonna wait maybe 10-15 minutes, and we're going to add our minced beef. Okay, we'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. So it's been some time. That's what it should look like. Well, it looks exactly the same as it was before, but that's what's gonna look like. So my dad said for basically 500 grams of minced beef, I've got 750 here. So I'm just gonna try and cut what I don't need. Okay, so I've put the minced beef here. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper, and another pinch of that's gone fast. Another pinch of garlic granules. Oh, sorry. Okay, all done. All right, so I've added salt and pepper. I wouldn't add too much black pepper when you have children eating it. Because black pepper, I don't know, it's not too recommended. So I'm going to work and mix everything together, and then we're gonna start doing our meatballs. Okay, so I just wanna work it, and I actually think I'm gonna need all of my minced beef because I might have to put too much bread. Okay, right, I'm gonna put the rest of it. Okay, see you soon. Okay, here we are. So that's what the ending should look like. You might notice some bread bumps, like hard bread. I've got my youngest, look. She says she's putting things under the door. She wants to be in the video, but I told her no. Okay, so we're going to shape our meatballs now. I've got my cooking tray, baking tray. Put some kitchen baking paper on, which is good. And we're gonna shape the meatballs, and we're gonna put them in the oven to cook for about 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna do some shaping now. Okay, so this is what they're gonna look like. I've done different shapes because I'm really bad at doing all the same shapes. So I'm taking, come, film here. I'm taking this, okay, you get the mix, work it. You don't have to have gloves. I just prefer using gloves because it's quite messy. But once you wash your hands, you can do it without having to use gloves, yeah? So once it's like this, then you put it here. Sorry, I got my daughter recording so that I could show you. Now, one thing that I'm going to do is to do small ones, because that reminds me of my grandmother when we were all little. She'd be making meatballs and she'd be frying them, and she'd be making small ones. She would be making small ones for us, so we would know that she was frying, and we would go and have some small ones. So I'm gonna make tiny ones for the girls or for the children to have and to try, yeah. And then depending on how many you want to make, the size that you want it to be, they can be small, they can be medium, they can be big, they can be any size you like. They can be any size you like. Oh, okay, so that's the finishing part. This is one tray finished, and I've got another one here, which is gonna go after that. The sauce is piping hot too. There you go. Obviously, I didn't know that was gonna happen. Always try to pre-cook the meatballs before putting them in the sauce, for the simple reason that if you put them directly in the sauce, sometimes they could open, so they don't keep the nice shape that you've made at first, and they open up. But that's obviously down to you and your choice of steps to follow when you cook. I'm just showing you how I do it. Okay, all right, so in they go in the oven, 15-20 minutes, 180 to 200 grams degrees, sorry. Okay, so I've done an experiment. I've tried cooking them in the air fryer at air fry. I've put it for 20 minutes, but this is 9 minutes or 8 minutes and a half in, and they look amazing already. So we're taking them off, and we're taking the oven's ones off as well. So the oven's been 17 minutes instead, and they are also ready. So when you see that they're brown golden and they are cooked, oh see, I've broken one, they are cooked on both sides, that's when we're going to then put them in the sauce. I have washed my hands, but you can use a is that clip, these ones, you know, those ones, roast barbecue. Yeah, so you move them and then we put them all in the sauce, and we let it cook again for maybe half an hour, I'd say, because they need to finish cooking inside, so you need to have a lot of, see, so that's what's happening now. The more meatballs we've put, the more sauce grows. I burned myself. Okay, so I'm just gonna put them all in, and then I think I might just show you the final touch, which is to pour them all into the, I don't know, the rigatoni or whichever pasta you like. So that's gonna go back on the fire and cook for another half an hour or so. Okay, bye. See, I just turned them off. This is what they're supposed to look like. I'm gonna take one out soon, and I'm gonna show you what they look like inside. This is what they look like. I'm so happy. I've not done them for a very long time. Okay, so I'm boiling the pasta, and I'm gonna show you the final results in a few seconds. Bye. And here you have it. Ta-da! That's what they look like. That's my mom's plate, and I've put one on the side here to open it and show you all how they are. There you go. They're supposed to be looking like this. And that's it, everyone. That brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumb up, follow for more recipes, and let me know in the comments if there is anything in particular that you would like me to cook for you. Okay? Alright, you take care. Bye.